Hey, this is Jennifer Burnett, first grade teacher at Caldwell Elementary in Auburndale, Florida. Last school year, I gave a quick tour of flexible seating in my classroom right before school started, and it got quite a lot of hits on YouTube. I meant to do a follow-up to let y'all know kind of how things went. Just totally forgot and never got around to it, so I'll kind of do that now. So move things around just a little bit, but really everything that I chose to do for flexible seating, I kept, pretty much kept. So yoga balls, they did awesome last year. We had one that deflated a little bit each day, and we ended up having that extra anyway, so we did get rid of a yoga ball. That would probably be our most expensive catastrophe. But other than that, they held up pretty well. Kind of walk around. We got our carpet, our chairs from IKEA, our beanbags from Walmart. They held up. The chairs from IKEA the kids love, and the pillows didn't get torn up or anything crazy. Our bucket seats were probably the thing I had the most issues with, and they really weren't issues. The kids liked to wobble back and forth on them, and so it popped the tops in a few times. So I did have to replace the tops. Quick fix, Walmart, $1. I just peeled off the cushion and then reapplied it. And so really not a huge deal. Those are the only things that really broke. We are actually replacing the buckets. Hopefully tomorrow, a Donor's Choose project for wobble chairs got funded. So those buckets will go elsewhere. Just quite not sure yet. Standing table was my favorite. A lot of my kids loved it. It's one of our workstations. It's kind of and not a bad way, a timeout area for some of my kids that were having trouble, getting along and keeping their hands to themselves. They just would raise their hand, hey, can I go to the standing table? And it was quick and easy. So the Walmart balls surprisingly lasted all year. This is a new set because the ones that I had from last year were a little low on air, and I tried to pump them up. They didn't really make much of a difference. But these balls are usually $2.88, so you're looking at maybe $12. They lasted all year long. The only thing that didn't last as well was the pool noodles that we had done underneath it. If you remember from my video last year, you wrap the pool noodles with duct tape, and then they kind of made a little circle for them to sit on. This year I'm trying Frisbees. I tried it at the store, bounced pretty hard in the middle of Walmart. People thought I was crazy, and they survived me, so I'm hoping they will survive my first graders. The chairs from IKEA, the kids love them. They liked having a little bit higher of a desk, so those were also scooted back a few times, and the kids would just stand. The regular chairs probably only stayed regular chairs for about a month because when kids were allowed to choose a spot, this would be the last place for them because they were kind of boring in their eyes. So kind of see underneath, we added the wobble cushions from Amazon, and that made them from lame into a pretty cool seat choice. So other things that we had the stools. They lasted. I know some teachers have said they've had issues. I know looking at some of the third graders, the legs were bent in. Luckily, firsties don't get too big, so those survived. I have another whole set over here for my small groups. Loved my crate seats that my dad helped me make, and those did pretty well. Don't know what we'll do if the fabric tears or anything gets on them, so I'm hoping they will last another year because I really love them. The one thing that I did get rid of, and it wasn't a bad thing, I did have bean bags, but they were 13 years old. They were really, really flat, and they were just kind of in the way. The kids actually fought over those two stools most of the time, so I decided to get rid of the bean bags and the carpet that was underneath, and these camping chairs at Walmart were there and ready. So I grabbed two of those. Hopefully they become something the kids like. Not in our video last year. It actually wasn't even thought of last year. We got a class pet. We got him on Halloween. His name is Draco. It's a little blurry on this screen, but he is our bearded dragon, and the kids got to see him when he was little tiny baby dragon. Little baby dragon. He was only 6 inches, and now Fatty McFaddington is about 20 inches. So pretty cool for those kids to see. This year's kids are just going to come in and be like, wow, you have a baby alligator. That's pretty much what he looks like. So over here on our computer station, I was blessed to have these seats given to me by a first grade teacher who was moving up to 5th. They're starting to get a little wear and tear. The cushions are looking a little rough, so I am not crafty when it comes to that kind of stuff. Hopefully I can find somebody who can help me with that. So This is my classroom. I'm really excited. Flexible seating went well. A little different approach to it than I think most. I didn't get to drop the desks because we don't really have alternatives. But what my students did was they stored, if you can see those cubbies in the back, they stored their materials in the cubbies. So their crayons, their math books, their folders, anything that was specific to them stayed in those cubbies in the back. In the desks were our neutral items, our reading books, our dry erase boards, our 120 laminated sheets, our science books. So no matter where they were, everything in the desk was kind of neutral. The stuff in the middle was neutral. And then they could move weekly. So every Monday, they would pick a new home base and they would sit there for the week. That way, they always had a place for their agendas and stuff. But later in the day, when we were doing math or they were doing their power hour small groups, if they wanted to sit somewhere different, as long as they didn't interfere with the stuff that was already sitting at that table from earlier in the day, they could. So it went really well. You know, I was very nervous. I'm very OCD, and trying something new as big as that was a big step. And I would say it paid off. But another year, another group of kids. Orientation is tomorrow night. As you can tell, we got all our orientation stuff on the tables. Just a little peeky peek. I'm trying these pool noodle name tag holders. We'll see how that goes. Bubbling with excitement to meet you. They got their jitter glitter ready. Really excited. Something I tried this year that I've never done is I recorded myself telling a story for them to hear the night before orientation. So they'll hopefully have something to scan their QR code with and then be able to see me on video telling them a story. So my bucket's in the middle. Like I said, we do community. So you get your scissors, pencils. The pens are not for them. The pens are only for the parents for orientation. Underneath that cup is actually erasers. Flashcards, there's dry erase markers and highlighters. And you got your glue sticks. And then around the room, I just have a few other things where I store all my math. My kids have mailboxes. I do everything by number. I noticed it's just easier, and I'm not having to spend every new school year scraping off old names and labels and having to replace them. Same thing with my cubbies over here. They're backpacks and lunch boxes, and those little extras go in there, and everything's by number, so makes it a little bit easier. Other thing that I didn't have when we started, which is crazy, is 21 Kindles. So between Donors Choose and some grants that I did through here and eBay, I was able to get a class set. This is actually my second set of mailboxes. There's another set on the other side of the room. So each child has a device. Each device is numbered at the beginning of the year. When they get their number, they keep that number all year, and that device is theirs for the year. So we've got half our Kindles here. And the other half of the Kindles, ooh, there they are over there. So that's pretty much it. Our school year starts. Orientations tomorrow night. Our kids come Thursday. And I am ready for 180 days of awesomeness because guess what? Hashtag kids deserve it.